What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, okay? It is the 25th of May. We have about 10 hours left in the day here, sitting at $107.6 thousand. Looking like we went down as low as 106.6, and that's okay that we went that low, right? The goal today, ultimately the goal of this week, would be to close at 107.5 or higher, because if we can do that, we will be in the overbought zone on the weekly RSI, right? And we want to get overbought because typically when Bitcoin gets overbought on the weekly RSI, we actually don't even stop at this high. Typically, when you get overbought, you actually go above that high. You actually see readings that are more powerful than what we had here. And if this is the reading that we had for this kind of movement last time, I would assume that this move would only be stronger once we get into the overbought zone in the weekly RSI. So that's a very important thing to happen, and it will only happen this week if if we close above $107.5 thousand, which right now, 10 hours left, we're right there. We're right there, but I think it's looking good. If we close a little bit lower, it does set us up in a position. The reason why we want to close here beyond the fact of going higher is that if we close just below it, that does set us up in a position to reject the overbought zone. And if we reject, that's fine. That doesn't mean we can't come back up and go higher later. But if you look here, if it would let me, I don't know why it's not letting me. There we go. Here you're moving up. Overall, this move, like from the low to the high, it was like up to here. But you did have a little stop in the middle where you stopped for like a month. If you want to avoid this, don't reject your overbought zone. Don't do that. Get into the overbought zone. See that happen. You know what I mean? If we reject the overbought zone, oftentimes we don't push higher immediately. So if this week can close above $107.5 thousand, that eliminates the threat of a rejection off the it doesn't really eliminate the threat completely, but it would be nice because at least we're not right at the overbought, so we could be a little bit above it. But I guess we're right at it anyways right now. I would just like to see us close at 107.5 because it would, or higher, because it would put us above the overbought zone, and the higher the better. So hopefully we're not right here. Hopefully we're up a little bit higher by the end of this day. By the end of the week, let's look at this on the 1 hour time frame and see if we can configure ourselves and see if there's a proper destination by the end of the day here. Let's see. Looking at this, it does look pretty bearish on the 4 hour or on the 1 hour time frame. I will say this is pretty damn bearish. I got to admit, flat base, descending highs. We don't like to see that. Yeah, you got a double bottom in the RSI. That's nice, but this might have been the move for that. It's not a whole lot going on here. You are building volume here, and you're not really going anywhere, right? You still got a higher low, or you're still in this area with the lows. You didn't break out, is what I should say. I don't know. There's good things and bad things going on here. Overall, you're in a bad kind of reading in the RSI, and you look kind of weak in the price. So I would guess this would mean that you want to go down on a 1 hour basis. That would imply, maybe we got 10 hours left in the day, so that would imply that by the end of the day we might be at lower prices. We're at 107.5K now, so that's not ideal. That's not what we want. It's okay if we close. By the way, if we close here, it's not like if we close out of the overbought zone, it's not like that means we're going down. I'm just saying if we close right at it like this, if we close out of it, that sets us up for a potential rejection. That doesn't mean we have to reject. Potential rejection is not the same thing as rejecting. It just means that next week has to close green. We have to get into the overbought zone, because if not, if we reject, that sets us up in a very bad position. So to avoid that precariousness of being in that position in the first place, close higher than where you are now. Get above. Keep going. Don't stop. In fact, be nowhere near this area. That would be nice. Get up there. But we'll see. The 1 hour doesn't look so friendly, in my opinion. Hold on. Okay, if we're looking at this here, on the 15-minute time frame, the 15-minute RSI also looks bearish. Pretty damn bearish, I'm not going to lie. Where you are right now, you're at a decision point. So by the time most of you watch this video, we'll either be making strides higher or looking to probably break out below this low and maybe even go down to prices that are around $105,000. That's kind of the expectation if we are to go lower, is about 105, just below 105K, just above 105K, doesn't matter, but something around 105K if we are to go lower would be the expectation. But the 15-minute time frame here it's in a precarious situation itself, because if you can get above the 60, if you can get overbought here, that could promote a turnaround at a rather key area for it to turn around. If we can get away from this low, it will start to look like a double bottom. The 1 hour will actually start to look good. We might be breaking out of this this downtrend here with these lower highs and lower lows, and that could promote a bit of growth by the end of the day, which would be nice to see. So by the time most of you watch this, if Bitcoin's below, let's say, below about $107.3 thousand, we're probably going down. If it's above, I mean, if it's higher than what it is now, then we're probably going up, which would be nice by the end of the day. By the time you watch this, if it's above where we are now, we're going up by the end of the day. If it's below 107.3K, we're probably going down for the day by the time you watch this, yeah. 107.4 right now, 4-hour time frame. Right at the area you'd expect to bounce, but here's the deal. You bounced here, it looked like this. You bounced here, it looked like this. Yeah, whenever you bounced here, it was just a in and then out, in and out, right? Even in and outs right here, in and outs right here. Here it's like in and in. It's like you're getting more consistent movements down at this area. Whenever you find support in an area, you want to find support on it. You don't want to dance around with it, because whenever you dance around like that, you might actually break through it. And if we break through the 40, we're going to get to the oversold zone, and that definitely would push us lower as well. So the 4-hour and the 1 hour, the 1 hour to me is more decisive in being bearish. It looks a little bit more bearish right now, but that can change. It can absolutely change. The 4 hour is a bit more neutral with a bearish tilt to it. I want to be bearish, but looking back here, I don't think I'm at the appropriate place to be bearish, but just this interaction here is making me a little bit cautious. I'm really hoping that by the end of this 4-hour candle, the next 1 hour 56 minutes, I'm really hoping that we push up and that we're not down. We'll see. I suppose if we do close below the 40 on the RSI here, if we get a lower reading than that and we're producing lower lows here, that would be very condemning to the idea that Bitcoin does go probably below 105K. The reason why I'm thinking 105K, just above, just below, is because right here, that's just above 105K, 105.7. That's just below at 104.8. Something in that area. That's where we're going to go. Wicking high, closing highs right there, right? A little bit of support over there. And I'm not saying that we will go down there. I'm just saying if we were to go down, that's where we would go. Whenever it does come time to move higher, and we are going to be moving higher in a matter of no time at all, whether it's today, whether it's 3 days from now, whatever, we will be moving higher. From a high to a low, of course, if next week closes red, then we might have a different discussion, and that's okay. If next week closes red, we're probably going to consolidate in this area for a little bit of time. We might even pull all the way back down to 94K. June will kick off, not in a good way, not in the way that I was looking forward to, but that's okay. It'll probably still end with a bang. But I'll tell you what, if we were to correct here, if next week was to close red, that would shift the whole 170 to 180 projected target. By the end of June, it would shift that. It would have to be sometime in late July then, not early July, but late July. So if we get that, that's what that would mean. But if we do just keep pushing higher, if this week can close green, if next week can close green, if we can get this thing into the overbought zone by the end of June, if not early July, we're looking for some kind of price between about $180,000 to $170,000, maybe even above $180,000. I don't really have anything else that I want to say. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. It's going to be a good monthly finish. I'm hoping it's going to be a good monthly finish. We do have 1 week left. I'm expecting this next week to be a good week. If it's not, that'd be sad. But even if the month can close here, at least, even if we close the month at 102,000, which I doubt we do, but even if we close it at 102,000, we're still closing at new all-time highs on a monthly basis. We're still getting the monthly RSI into the overbought zone. Good things are going on the longer-term perspectives. We just need the short-term to start acting right, and I think it will. I'm just cautiously optimistic here. Even if we go down, even if we close down here today, it's not a big deal. We could still next week come up and close green, and then get this week the RSI into the overbought zone. $107.5 thousand is not the most critical level. If we can close above it, great. If we can't, it's not a big deal. It's just if we can't this week, the next week we gotta make moves to the upside. It has to happen. I hope it's understood what I'm saying here. I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.